Alright, so this is going to be Runeglaive versus Devourer. Many people believe that one's superior to the other. I'm going to be going over both of them. I'm going to be explaining which one I believe is better, and if you actually watch my videos, you should know which one I obviously prefer. But nevertheless, there are people that are trying to say one's better than the other when it's clearly not. Alright, so this is the jungle item Runeglaive. It gives 50 plus ability power, plus 200 mana, plus 10% CDR, has a Spellblade effect that gives you mana back, and because Kayle is hybrid, it works really well because she scales both with AD and AP items, so overall, it's a really good item and there's really no downfall to it. Alright, so let's look at Devourer. This item gives 50+% attack speed and plus 60 damage on hit magic damage. Unique passive is Phantom. Every second basic attack will activate a Phantom attack that triggers on-hit effects twice. So obviously this is a really good effect that can work well with many champions. Looking at the pros and cons of Runeglaive on Kayle. So first off, Kayle really doesn't have any cons with this item. This item gives CDR, AP, mana regeneration, and Spellblade, all things that Kayle desperately needs, and this item pretty much brought Kayle back into the game. The only downfall of Runeglaive is that it only has 50 AP, and usually with Kayle you're wanting to scale high AP items because you're also having to get Nashor's Tooth, which was considered a low AP item, but recently they buffed it to 80 AP, which is extremely good. Alright, so we're going to be going over the pros and cons of Devourer on Kayle. So the con is that pretty much Devourer takes a long time to stack. You're pretty much AFK stacking in jungle. If you get far behind, then this can pretty much destroy your game. If you ended up getting invaded early on, you end up getting basically camped in your jungle, you can essentially never complete Devourer by like the 20th minute mark, and you'll get forced into team fights without, say, a Devourer upgrade. Now, Devourer on Kayle is really good. Her E scales extremely well with Devourer because obviously you can get other on-hit effects items with Kayle, considering that she's a hybrid champion. The major problem is that basically it's making your Q and your W worthless. Obviously, if you're going Devourer, you're going to get other on-hit effect items. If you get those on-hit effect items, then you're sacrificing your AP items. And also, you don't have any CDR from Devourer, and you don't have any mana regen from Devourer. So, you're obviously going to have to buy those items separately, which is going to take up space and stop you from your complete build. This is a major, major flaw. Alright, so let's look at her scaling ratios. As you can see here, everything that she has scales off of AP. Some of the actual abilities dual scale off of AP. So her Q scales off of AP by 60%, which is really awesome. Her W, which is her heal and her movement speed buff, has a 45% AP scaling ratio, and her movement speed buff has a 7% AP scaling ratio out of per 100 AP. So this is very major for slowing and then kiting away. So the more AP you have, more movement speed buff you'll have. Basically, if you have a full build, you can essentially remove your boots out of the equation and buy another AP item because of her W allows it. Because she'll basically have enough movement speed to basically run around all the map, and she'll be able to spam her W. So her E, on the other hand, has a 50% AP scaling ratio, which is pretty good, and her bonus magic damage per hit has a 30% AP scaling ratio. So if you decide to go Devour, you're going to be sacrificing these AP scaling ratios, which Kayle is amazing with. And you might be saying 15% AP scaling ratio and 30% AP scaling ratio is nothing, but in all honesty, it is freaking major. Alright, so the conclusion is that Runeglaive has won. Runeglaive is just obviously the better choice. It's basically an AP item, so you can essentially stack full AP instead of having to stack a few attack speed items and then AP items, which would then be hybrid attack speed AP, which is okay, but Runeglaive is just better. That is why the challenger level players are going Runeglaive, because Runeglaive, used correctly, is much better. Now, if you're in bronze or silver and you're not really that good at mechanics, then Devourer is definitely for you, because all you have to do is hit E and click someone and you're going to nuke them down just about as much. But the problem is that you're sacrificing a ton of movement speed, a ton of heal bonus, and a ton of damage on your Q for a upgraded E ability, which is not really that massively improved from the Runeglaive build. Alright guys, I have 2 clips at the end. One is showing the Devourer Kayle and one showing the Runeglaive Kayle. And both Kayles are viable. They're both really good. I'm not saying that one's trash, one's not. Just a Runeglaive Kayle with better mechanics is just overall superior to the Devourer Kayle. Also, Runeglaive is just better off because the second you build the item, you have your power spike instead of having to get 30 stacks on Devourer to have it upgraded. Now, if you're in Silver or Bronze and you're not confident in your mechanics, then go Devourer. Either way, both Kayles are good. I'm just explaining why one's better because I've been having a lot of people in my comments saying, Devourer Kayle is better. And it's like, it's really not. It's the reason why that when you look at the Challenger streams, they're actually going Runeglaive. And of course, Night Blue and probably Trick2G. I don't know why I said Twitch. But yeah, they're probably doing Devourer Kayle. But if they were to enter a tournament, if they were to actually play Kayle more consistently, they'd be going Runeglaive. I've seen them do crazy-ass builds all the time, and even Night Blue has gone off and said, hey, I have no idea how to play Rengar, according to the Koreans, and then he actually started copying their strats. So, League is always changing. This is just my opinion. I've seen a lot of the Challenger players doing Runeglaive Kayle because overall it is just better looking at the statistics. Alright, anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to comment, rate, and subscribe, and peace out. I don't think Irelia knows. Oh, they don't know. Blade of Rune King does 4% HP on hit. That is ridiculous. Like, that is absolutely ridiculous. Hi.